Your Excellency President John Dramani Mahama, Your Excellency Vice President Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman, Right Honorable Alban Babin, Speaker of Parliament, the Chief of Staff, Mr. Julius Deborah, Excellencies, members of the Diplomatic Corps, senior presidential staffers, honorable ministers, honorable members of Parliament, revered traditional leaders, valued investors, distinguished commanders of our security forces, our youth, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Fellow citizens, it is a great honor and privilege to address you today on behalf of the many people who contributed to shaping the program that the President will launch in a few minutes. My remarks today will cover 3 key points: an overview of the program's format, a look ahead at our implementation plans and our facilitation of that implementation, and words of gratitude to those who have helped bring us to this point. Ladies and gentlemen, several 24-hour-plus programs and documents have been in circulation for a while, in print and online. Let me briefly explain belatedly the format we used in developing the program. The program is available in a full version, an executive summary, and 8 sub-program books, each of which is self-contained but part of the whole. For example, if your primary interest is infrastructure, you can read just the Connect 24 sub-program. This will provide you with our complete infrastructure program and sufficient material to contextualize it as part of a broader program. We will soon produce abridged versions, popular summaries, and animations to help communicate program ideas and aspirations more widely. We hope you enjoy reading it and will share your reflections with us. We are also in touch with the Bureau of Ghana Languages so that we can disseminate the content of this program as simply, as effectively to all our people everywhere, every hour. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now in implementation mode. We have divided the program into around 50 separate commercial, institutional, and social projects. We are writing concept notes for the first 20 of these projects. These concept notes have so far been our primary tools for engaging with institutional stakeholders, including local and foreign entrepreneurs, financiers, donors, contractors, CSOs, MDAs, MMDAs, community leaders, youth leaders, and others. They will be available on our website for interested persons to engage. We are pursuing several other targets in parallel. Firstly, on an ongoing basis, we have begun to the work of aligning our project with our current and planned government initiatives to minimize overlaps and increase synergy. For example, we have worked closely with the Minister of Agribusiness, Trade and Industry, Madam, to ensure that our respective textiles and garments programs complement rather than compete with each other. This effort culminated in an industry roundtable on June 9th, where stakeholders discussed the direction of textiles and garments policy and identified locations for future textiles and garment parks. The parks will not only be in Accra or in Tema, they'll be distributed across the country so that we can industrialize every aspect of the country where it's required and deemed bankable. Similarly, we are in the process of structuring and negotiating the concession regimes for the Volta Lake Economic Corridor with Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund, VRA, and the Ministry for Energy and the Green Transition. Secondly, we have presented our 24-hour plus incentives package along with its impact assessment report to the Ministry of Finance for final review and adoption. Our proposals to the Finance Minister aim to simplify incentives and eliminate unnecessary bureaucratic discretion, thereby discouraging arbitrariness and facilitating the automation of processes. Thirdly, we are conducting feasibility studies on commercial projects, aiming to have priority projects investment ready by year's end. Indeed, we have learned that some priority projects already have bankable feasibility studies that only need updating. Fourthly, and very importantly, with the guidance from the Bank of Ghana in collaboration with Development Bank of Ghana, Venture Capital Trust Fund, and Ghana Exim Bank, we must finalize and in the process of finalizing our SME on-lending platform and our value chain lending scheme so that funds can flow to the 24-hour economic projects and the qualified entrepreneurs who run these projects. Fifthly, ladies and gentlemen, we are activating the mobilization component of the program. Aspire 24 and Goal 24 may appear 7th and 8th on our list of sub-programs, but they are not afterthoughts. Everything is integrated. Aspire 24, mindset change, digital fluency, Goal 24 will ignite a spirit of self-organization and civic responsibility among Ghanaians at the community level where we live, work, school, worship, and play. Communities must be empowered to address local challenges, and ultimately we need to build a truly participatory democracy that functions effectively at the national, district, and sub-district levels. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, we will soon become a statutory authority. The appropriate legislation is being finalized for onward transmission to Parliament. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have made a significant leap towards our goal. We are very, very, very early in the long journey that the President has described. The road may be long, but we are ready, able to walk it. We hope to walk this road with all of your support. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank those who have helped us to get to this far. The program was framed, developed, tested, written up, and illustrated by a dedicated, talented youthful workforce and professional team between January and May 2025. Their ages range from 24 to 69 years old. I'm not the 69-year-old, by the way. I am personally grateful to every member of the Secretariat for your faith in Ghana, your long nights, your imagination, your competence, and your rigor. I could not have asked for a better team. However, ladies and gentlemen, the Secretariat is the first to admit that we stand on the shoulders of others. We must acknowledge, Your Excellency, the leadership of President Mahama, whose vision for a productive, prosperous, integrated, innovative, and equitable society has driven the development of the program. The vision, however, did not take shape in isolation. Much of the initial analysis was done by the NDC's 2024 Manifesto Committee, chaired by Comrade Danso Boafo, who is currently the Cabinet Secretary. Special tribute is due to the members of the 24-hour Economic Task Force team and the Jobs and Employment Subcommittee of the Manifesto Committee. Time will not allow me to mention each of you by name, but I believe that your names are being scrolled as I speak on the screens. And thank you for your remarkable effort and dedication, and your contributions are deeply appreciated. A detailed analysis of the challenges entrepreneurs, especially exporters, face were provided by individual intrepid entrepreneurs, both large and small, who know the system intimately. These producers and their associations are AGI, Association of Ghana Industries, FAGE, Federation of Ghanaian Exporters, GUTA, Ghana Union of Traders, GAU, PFAG, Ghana National Association of Cattle Farmers, the UK Ghana Chamber of Commerce, and others also highlighted the opportunity cost of our broken system. They proposed well thought out solutions, some of which we have included in the program. We are grateful to the development financial institutions, private foundations, development banks, and international agencies, especially Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund, Development Bank of Ghana, Ghana Exim Bank, UNDP, and the African Development Bank for their invaluable support in shaping both the financing and strategic architecture of the 24-hour economic program. Without the guidance of Dr. Atto Forson, Dr. Johnson Asiama, and the expert teams at the Ministry of Finance, the Bank of Ghana, the Ghana Statistical Service, and the Ghana Revenue Authority, much of this program would not have been possible. I would also like to thank my colleagues in the government, the Office of the President. The Office of the President has led the program steadily and consistently and unfailingly. The Chief of Staff, Julius Debra, has continuously provided guidance and support. The Senior Presidential Advisor on Governmental Affairs, Valerie Sawyer, has been endlessly kind, helpful, and wise. The Cabinet Secretary, Professor Dansu Bafu, has on many occasions guided us safely and smoothly through turbulent waters, as well as saved us when we needed help in presenting matters to the Cabinet. And of course, Dr. Callistus Mahama, the Secretary to the President, has always found space for us in His Excellency's incredibly busy schedule, in addition to graciously reviewing documents meant for public distribution. Our dear friend, former Attorney General Mariette Brew, now the President's legal advisor, has offered very valuable legal insights. Seth Tekwe has always been a clear voice on economic management, and he's always been a good comrade. And without Mausi Jirasa, our team would never have figured out how to navigate the complexities of Jubilee House. I must recognize the profound support of the Cabinet. 24 Hours is a truly multi-sectoral program that touches every ministerial sector of government. Progress would not be possible without the active support of ministers. However, in terms of the productive industries that the program seeks to transform, we must single out the Ministers for Trade and Industry and Agribusiness, Elizabeth Ufusu Ajari, Madam, Eric Opoku, Minister of Agriculture, Madam Emilia Arthur, Minister of Fisheries, Madam Jifa Ablagomashi, Minister of Culture, Theatre, Arts and Tourism. We really do thank you for your patience and your willingness to make your institutional capacity available to drive our different sub-programs. Lastly, and not the least, I commend the leadership of our security services. With facilitation from the National Security Council and National Security Advisor, we've held constructive engagement with the armed forces, the police, immigration, prisons, fire service, customs, cybersecurity agency, and the National Signals Bureau. These institutions have demonstrated a clear understanding of the strategic implications of the 24-hour plus program and are already implementing measures to safeguard our national stability as the transformation unfolds. Indeed, I believe that ports, police, well, they've always been somehow 24-hour. Ports, police, and GRA are now on a 24-hour footing to complement the efforts of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and other ministries, Ministry of Local Government, and so on. So thank you all very much. We salute all of you, your commitment. We at the Secretariat are confident that we will continue to receive constructive criticism and suggestions for further improvement. Criticism is always welcome. We see the 24-hour program as a living program, rooted in science and firm social democratic principles, but flexible enough to respond tactically to a changing environment. We will learn many lessons along the way and make numerous adjustments. The bow that doesn't bend always breaks. This is the only way the program can transform our society in the short, medium, and the long term. Ladies and gentlemen, the task that Ghana has undertaken and that our Secretariat is supporting is a challenging one. However, the social and political costs of inaction are terrifying. I'll repeat that. However, the social and political costs of inaction are terrifying. This is a sensible program with substantial upsides. The people of Ghana are very capable, very resilient, and today they are inspiringly led by Your Excellency. We can say without a doubt that our President is a true champion of responsible entrepreneurship in national transformation. Ladies and gentlemen, we as a country, we as a people have what it takes, and with your support we will succeed. Thank you, sir.
And now we hear, ladies and gentlemen, from His Excellency the President of the Republic. Let's rise as we welcome His Excellency the President, President John Dramani Mahama.
Thank you, thank you. Kindly be seated. Thank you very much. Your Excellency, Professor Jane Nana Opoku-Agyeman, Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, members of the Council of State, Presidential Advisor on 24-hour economy and your team, Ministers of State and senior government officials, members of the diplomatic corps, traditional leaders, CEOs and captains of industry, heads of our security agencies, and let me just use the salutation used by former President, beloved former President Jonathan Mills, my brothers and sisters. I want to thank you very much for this morning. Today marks the formal launch of the 24-hour economy and Acerated export development program, what we now proudly call the 24H Plus agenda. This is more than a policy initiative. It is a national reset, a bold strategic shift to unlock our country's full productive potential. Today we reclaim our founders' vision of a self-reliant, industrious and inclusive African nation that works with organized creativity and ensures prosperity for all. So what are the origins of the 24H vision? The vision behind the 24-hour economy and the Acerated export development program was born from reflection during and after my previous term in office. Between 2016 and 2020, it became increasingly clear that Ghana, like many African countries, is trapped in a model of an equal exchange. We export raw materials and we import refined finished products. We ship cocoa, gold, timber, and oil abroad, only to repurchase them as chocolates, jewelry, furniture, and fuel at a far greater cost. This model does not serve our people. It has never served our people. It generates foreign jobs, it fuels foreign economies, and funds foreign healthcare and education systems. While our youth remain unemployed, our industries stagnate and our imports balloon. We had laid the essential foundation then for energy infrastructure, for roads, for ICT systems and human capital investment. But we knew that we needed to go further. And that meant we needed an integrated, bold, and coherent approach that dismantled the silos of past policies. The 24-hour plus program is that collective answer. And so we've moved from slogan to strategy today. In 2020 and again in 2024, thank you. In 2020 and again in 2024, the idea of a 24-hour economy captured national attention. It became a slogan of hope, a symbol that change was necessary and that it was possible. Our task now is to move from vision to implementation, from aspiration to action. This launch is not the end, but it is the beginning of a massive national mobilization. But let me be clear here. The 24H Plus agenda is not simply about extending working hours. It is about unleashing productivity, expanding opportunity, accelerating exports through well-structured, multi-sectoral and inclusive interventions. And so we would have national consultation and co-design. And over the past 6 months, the 24-hour plus secretariat under the Presidential Advisor, Mr. Guzitano and his team, has undertaken an extensive national engagement process. They've listened to entrepreneurs, both large and small, both formal and informal. They've listened to organized labor, cooperatives, farmers, and traders. They've listened to artists, technologists, traditional rulers, and religious bodies. They've consulted with diaspora groups, development agencies, investors, and infrastructure experts. They've talked to youth and women's organizations, scientists, and educational institutions. Alongside the private sector, the Secretariat has worked with government ministries, departments, and agencies to align regulatory, fiscal, and institutional frameworks to the program. The 24-hour plus agenda comprises synergistic sub-programs that are tailored to key value chains, and you must have heard the ministers mentioning them. These include Grow 24. Now, Grow 24 is about boosting agricultural productivity, agro-processing, and food security. Make 24 is about revitalizing our manufacturing and industrialization. Build 24 is about accelerating infrastructure, construction, housing, and public works. Show 24 is about harnessing Ghana's rich creative, cultural, and tourism assets. And Connect 24 is about fixing our logistic chains, transport, warehousing, ports, energy, and digital infrastructure. And Fund 24 is about unlocking innovative financing through credit guarantee schemes, blended finance, and venture capital. Aspire 24 is about building the skills of our people, our values, our ethics, and digital capacity for competitiveness. And Go 24 is about mobilizing all sectors, religious, security, academic, and civic, for national productivity and pride. This structure ensures depth and focus. We're not attempting to fix everything everywhere all at once. We're targeting high-impact, job-rich, and export-oriented sectors with strong forward and backward linkages. And now, so what is the famous Volta Economic Corridor we're talking about? That is our flagship anchor. While the 24-hour plus program is national in scope, our flagship intervention is the Volta Economic Corridor, a transformational effort to unlock the economic and environmental potential of the Volta Lake and its surrounding lands. Ladies and gentlemen, our first president, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, envisioned the Volta project at Akosombo not only as a source of power to power Ghana's industrial sector. He also saw it as an integrated project that will provide agribusiness, it will provide lands for agriculture, irrigation. Unfortunately, that aspect of his vision have been lost. Today, we're recreating Kwame Nkrumah's dream. Today, Osajifo, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah's dream comes alive again. We will irrigate over 2 million hectares of land for intensive agriculture under Grow 24. We will establish agro-industrial parks for textiles, pharmaceuticals, and food processing under Make 24. We will develop tourism clusters along the lake under Show 24. We will turn the lake into a central transport corridor that connects the north to the south and the east to the west under Connect 24. And so, ladies and gentlemen, imagine a future where fresh fruits and vegetables from Tamale are air freighted daily to Europe and other destinations. Imagine aquaculture along the lake, the Volta Lake, that sustains jobs and provides nutrition, and ports on the Volta Lake that reduce our transportation costs by up to 80%. This is how we unlock the full value of inland Ghana and reconnect with our Sahelian neighbors. The finance and implementation institutional frameworks for 24-hour plus The private sector will lead the 24-hour plus program. Government will facilitate and not dominate. Government will facilitate and not dominate. Any government funding in 24-hour plus will be catalytic, serving as seed funding for the 24-hour plus authority and supporting bulk infrastructure. Enterprise financing will be sourced through commercial banks, DFIs, and blended finance instruments. Fund 24 will address access to capital, collateral constraints, and the short-term nature of most of our banking finance. Credit guarantee schemes will support risk sharing without breaching our fiscal covenants with our multilateral institutions. And as announced, the Secretariat will evolve into an autonomous 24-hour plus authority that reports directly to the President. This policy is made for Ghana in the future. And so when I say report directly to the President, I don't mean only this President. It will report to the next President and the next President and the next President. The 24-hour plus program will be the catalyst for Ghana's economic growth, and we are sure that it will make Ghana prosper. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a call to national action. Distinguished guests, a new model of economic development grounded in productivity, powered by the private sector and coordinated by the state is going to be unveiled. Our national strategy includes inclusive growth, export expansion, job creation, and structural transformation. We are under no illusions. The path is going to be challenging, but we will succeed. The path will be challenging, but we will succeed. And we will succeed with discipline, coordination, and shared purpose. The 24-hour plus agenda allows us to do things in a different way, and to do them better, and to do them together. We call on the private sector, labor unions, development partners, traditional authorities, youth, and civil society to embrace this initiative. Ghana belongs to all of us. The work of transformation must be the task of all of us. And so today, as a symbol of our collective commitment, I will unveil the official logo of the 24-hour plus program. And this is going to be a bold visual expression of our ambition to build a resilient, self-reliant, and a productive Ghana. And so, with this unveiling, it is my honor and privilege to declare the 24-hour economy agenda and Acerated Export Development Program officially launched. Let us rise to this task with unity, courage, and resolve. May God bless our homeland Ghana and make our nation great and strong. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. President, for your address. And now we will invite Mr. Guzitano, who is the Presidential Advisor on the 24-hour economy and the accelerated export development. We also have with us the Trade Minister, Madam Elizabeth Ojari, as well as Madam Valerie Sawyer, who is Senior Presidential Advisor on Government Affairs. They will join the President to unveil the 24-hour plus E logo. It's a big day in Ghana's history. The 24-hour plus program aiming to build a modern and self-reliant and resilient economy. And we'll also have the Vice President join us, Her Excellency Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman, to complete the team that will unveil the logo. There we go. All right, here we go. And 3, 2, 1, and there you go. And that's our 24-hour logo launched today on the 2nd of July 2025, to the glory of God. Thank you so much. Our dignitaries to take their seats. And just to remind you that this 24-hour plus program aims to build a modern and self-reliant and resilient economy, one that is driven by production, is globally competitive, and is anchored in decent jobs, is designed to reduce our dependence on imports, expand local industry, and ensure that no Ghanaian is left behind. Beyond optimizing the use of all our resources, it's about building an economy that works better, fairer, and smarter for everyone, every hour of the day. Once again, thank you so much, Mr. President. Asan Kushunga, thank you so much for your address. I will. Thank you. We will now hear some music from Harmonious Chorale, and thank you very much, Harmonious Chorale Empire. And in case you're wondering what they were singing about, they were singing Tabani. It's daybreak. Wake up from your sleep, my brothers and sisters. Wake up. Awake, my dear brothers and sisters. Awake, Ghanaians. Let us rise up and work for Mother Ghana, because it's our country. Let us do all we can for Mother Ghana to work. If you are a farmer, take your hoe and head to the farm. If you're a fisherman, grab your canoe and head to the river for fishing. Everybody should wake up. Everybody should wake up. Scholars. Everybody should wake up. Carpenters. Everybody should wake up. Drivers. Everybody should wake up. Market women. Everybody should wake up. Doctors. Everybody should wake up. Everybody should awake and go to work for Mother Ghana's prosperity. It's daybreak. Wake up from your sleep. My brothers and sisters, wake up. This is a song by Nicodemus Kofi Bedu and performed by Harmonious Chorale. Please, let's give them another big round of applause. Disclaimer, I'm not a Dagmanli scholar. The words are behind your program. We'll take our photos now, and I'd like to invite Mr. President, Madam Vice President, Mr. Guzitano, and our Madam Trade Minister, and every single person who appeared in the video to come up on the stage and join Mr. President and the team for a big group photo. So if you saw yourself or heard yourself in the video, please, you are part of this big group photo. Mr. President, Madam Vice President, Trade Minister, Mr. Guzitano, Madam Sawyer, and all who appeared in the photo right here. This is your place. That's your spot.
Religion.